Earlier on, we had a discussion about how Pura may becoming a quasi-public entity. Are there other states where their public utilities regulatory authority is a quasi-public, or are they all governmental agencies?
It is not my understanding that any other state has a quasi-public service commission, but I could not speak in absolutes. I'm just not familiar with any.
Okay. And I know when we spoke, we had talked about the membership issue, and I know you aren't taking any position on that, but there are some places that have more than five.
Yes, that's correct. Having worked in this space for a long time now, I have interacted with regulators in many states across the country. I will say that the most common number appears to be three, followed by five. I'm familiar with New York and I think North Carolina, who fluctuate, I think, between 7 and 9. I couldn't speak definitively, but there are states that have, I think the only absolute here is that it's an odd number.
Okay. And probably my last question, we know that rates have gone up. And we know that part of it is the public benefits, which is a whole nother discussion as to why that is occurring. But are there efforts or initiatives that you have undertaken during your tenure at Pura that have kept the rates from going even higher?
Thank you so much for that question. Absolutely. In addition to the rate cases that I have referenced, where Pura actually ordered rate decreases. And to be clear, we ordered rate decreases based on the evidence in the record before us in each of those cases. But those are certainly instances in which rates have gone down as the result of a Pura action. Additionally, several of the tracks of our Equitable Modern Grid initiative have focused very heavily on cost containment and setting up processes moving forward. One of my biggest complaints about this industry, as I mentioned earlier, is the asymmetric access to information. And I'm not attributing any malice to that. I think it's just a fact that the utilities are the ones that are experts in running this grid, and they hold the data. And you have to ask the right questions to get to access that data in the course of a proceeding. And so a lot of the frameworks that we have very intentionally set out and worked on with our stakeholders are designed to make sure that folks around the table, not just Pura, but other entities representing consumers, businesses, et cetera, have access to the same type of information as the utilities do. I don't think any of us are endeavoring to supplant our judgment for their expertise, but we are trying to collectively make sure that planning is being undertaken and the investment that is being made is being done so in a way that works towards achieving the priority outcomes of the state. So we've definitely been very focused on setting up those frameworks, which I think will lead to cost containment moving forward because it makes sure that we all have access to the same types of planning parameters when evaluating those investment decisions.
Okay. And then my absolute last question, with the Millstone moratorium going away on April 30th, at least our constituents should see a decrease in the public benefits portion of their bill. I mean, there's nothing that is going to take Millstone's place on that, is there?
So the under recovery associated with Millstone is set to expire on April 30th of this year. The utilities, through our redesigned RAM process, are required to submit their last filing with us on March 1st. I don't want to speak definitively because I have not seen that data, but I think all of the stakeholders in last year's RAM process worked really hard to make sure that we were setting the rates at a level that was expected to contemporaneously recover those costs. So while there are not new line items that are coming onto the bill this year, it is again heavily tied to the regional market and the dynamics at the time that we see it. Over the next couple of months after that March 1st data filing comes in from the utilities, Pura staff, OCC, and other agencies will spend their time digging into those filings to make sure that we agree with the projections on which the rates are being set. So I should know more soon.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, and again, congratulations on your renomination, and I'm very appreciative of you subjecting yourself to this, and I think it shows a strength of character that we need at an agency like Pura. Thank you.
Thank you.